In the heart of Europe, nestled in a well-known city, stood the prestigious St. Augustine University, known for its rigorous medical program. Jamila, a determined and intelligent final-year medical student from Ghana, was among the mixed student body. She had come to Europe with dreams of becoming a renowned surgeon, inspired by her father's work as a doctor back home. Jamila was academically gifted and deeply compassionate, often volunteering at local clinics and participating in various outreach programs. Despite the challenges of being far from home and facing occasional prejudice, she remained focused on her goal. Jamila worked part-time as a waitress at Leonardo's, a popular restaurant visited by the rich in the city. To support herself, she balanced her demanding medical studies and her job with remarkable grace, always wearing a warm smile and maintaining her dignity. It was a busy Friday evening at Leonardo's. The restaurant was buzzing with chatter, the clinking of glasses, and the aroma of gourmet dishes. Jamila was moving efficiently between tables, taking orders, and serving food with her usual poise. Among the patrons that evening was a young woman named Maria, known for her striking beauty and her wealthy family's influence in the city. Maria was accompanied by a group of friends, all equally affluent and accustomed to getting what they wanted without question. Maria's eyes narrowed as she spotted Jamila approaching their table. With a disdainful glance, she whispered something to her friends, who giggled in response. "Good evening," Jamila greeted them with a polite smile. "May I take your order?" Maria looked Jamila up and down, her expression filled with scorn. "Yes, you may," she said, her tone dripping with sarcasm. "But first, tell me, how does someone like you end up working in a place like this? Shouldn't you be, I don't know, cleaning floors or something?" Jamila's smile hesitated slightly, but she maintained her composure. "I'm here to take your order and ensure you have a pleasant dining experience. What would you like to have tonight?" Maria laughed, a sound that was more mocking than joyful. "Oh, she's got manners. How adorable. Tell me, do you even understand half the dishes on this menu? Or are you just pretending to be sophisticated?" Jamila felt a surge of anger and humiliation but kept her voice steady. "I assure you, ma'am, I am well versed in the menu, and can help you with any questions you have." Maria's friends continued to giggle, enjoying the show. "All right then," Maria said with a smirk. "We'll have the carbonara con rosticana picante, and make sure it's cooked properly. I wouldn't trust someone like you to get it right." Jamila noted their order, her hands trembling slightly. "Of course, ma'am. It will be right out." As Jamila walked away, she could hear Maria and her friends laughing behind her. Her cheeks burned with embarrassment and cried silently, but she refused to let their words break her spirit. The evening dragged on and continued to serve the patrons with as much professionalism as she could muster. However, the encounter with Maria had left a sour taste in her mouth. Just as she was about to take a short break, the restaurant manager, Mr. Alex, approached her. He was a kind man who respected Jamila's hard work and dedication. "Jamila, could you please come with me?" Mr. Alex asked, his expression serious. Jamila followed him to his office where a well-dressed man and a beautiful woman were seated. They looked up as she entered, their faces lighting up with recognition. "Ah, Jamila!" the man exclaimed with excitement. "It's so good to see you again." Jamila smiled, recognizing Dr. Riccardo, a renowned surgeon and one of her mentors at the university, and his wife, Mrs. Riccardo. "Dr. Riccardo, Mrs. Riccardo, what a pleasant surprise," Jamila said. Dr. Riccardo turned to Mr. Alex and said, "You see, Jamila here is one of our brightest medical students. She's going to be a fantastic doctor very soon." Mr. Alex looked at Jamila with newfound respect and said, "I had no idea. Jamila, you never mentioned this." Jamila politely replied, "I didn't think it was necessary. I'm just doing my job here." Jamila was very delighted to see Dr. Riccardo and his wife. She was grateful to Dr. Riccardo for helping her get employed in this restaurant. The Riccardos were delighted to see her too. They insisted on dining in the restaurant and requested Jamila to serve them, much to the surprise and curiosity of the other patrons. Maria and her friends noticed the interaction while Jamila was serving the Riccardos. Maria's face twisted with confusion and a hint of annoyance. "What's going on there?" one of Maria's friends asked. Maria, unable to hide her curiosity, beckoned a passing waiter. "Who are those people and why is our waitress talking to them like they're old friends?" The waiter glanced over and replied, "That's Dr. Riccardo, a very respected surgeon in this city, and his wife. Apparently, the waitress knows them quite well." Maria's eyes narrowed. "Interesting." Unable to contain herself, Maria decided to approach the table where Jamila was standing with the Riccardos. She walked arrogantly to the Riccardos, her friends trailing behind her. "Excuse me," Maria interrupted, her voice filled with a false display of politeness. "I couldn't help but notice you're getting special treatment from our waitress here. Is she a family friend?" Dr. Riccardo looked up, clearly displeased by the interruption. "Not quite. Jamila is one of my top medical students. She's exceptionally talented and will make a wonderful doctor soon." Maria's face turned pale. "A medical student? Her?" Jamila met Maria's stunned gaze with calm defiance. "Yes, I'm in my final year of medical school. This job helps me support myself while I complete my studies." Dr. Riccardo added, "Jamila is not just any student. She's brilliant, hardworking, and compassionate. We're very proud of her." The weight of her own ignorance and prejudice hit Maria hard. She stammered, I didn't realize." Sensing the shift in the atmosphere, Maria's friends began to back away, leaving her to face the situation alone. Maria took a deep breath and turned to Jamila. I owe you an apology," she said, her voice trembling. "I was rude and disrespectful. I judged you without knowing anything about you. I'm truly sorry." Jamila regarded her for a moment, then nodded. "Thank you for your apology. It takes courage to admit when you're wrong." Maria seemed genuinely remorseful. "Is there any way I can make it up to you?" Jamila smiled gently. "Just treat others with kindness and respect, regardless of their job or background. That's all I ask." Maria nodded, clearly humbled. "I will. Thank you for giving me the chance to apologize." The incident had a profound impact on both Jamila and Maria. For Jamila, it reinforced her belief in the importance of dignity and resilience in the face of prejudice. For Maria, it was a humbling lesson in humility and the dangers of judging others based on appearances. News of the encounter spread quickly through the university and the local community. Many admired Jamila for her grace under pressure and her ability to forgive, while others reflected on their own attitudes and behaviors. One evening, Jamila and her friends gathered at a cafe to unwind. Her friend Lisa, also a medical student, brought up the topic. "Jamila, I heard about what happened at the restaurant," Lisa said. "You're amazing for handling it the way you did." Jamila shrugged. "It wasn't easy, but I couldn't let her ignorance define me. We all have our struggles. And sometimes people lash out because of their own insecurities." Lisa nodded. "You're right. It's a good reminder for all of us to be more understanding and compassionate." Months passed, and the day of Jamila's graduation arrived. The ceremony was held in a grand hall, filled with proud families, friends, and faculty. Jamila stood among her peers, feeling a sense of accomplishment and gratitude for the journey she had undertaken. As she walked across the stage to receive her diploma, she heard cheers and applause from the audience. She looked out and saw her family, who had flown in from Ghana to attend the ceremony. Tears filled her eyes as she realized how far she had come and how much she had achieved. After the ceremony, Jamila's family gathered around her, showering her with hugs and congratulations. Dr. Riccardo also approached, beaming with pride. "You did it, Jamila," Dr. Riccardo said, close to her. "We're so proud of you." "Thank you, Dr. Riccardo," Jamila replied, her voice filled with emotion. "I couldn't have done it without your support and guidance." As they celebrated, Maria appeared, holding a bouquet. She approached Jamila with a sincere smile. "Congratulations, Jamila," Maria said, handing her the flowers. "You deserve this." "Thank you, Maria," Jamila replied, accepting the flowers. "Means a lot." With her medical degree, Jamila began her residency at a renowned hospital, where she continued to excel and inspire those around her. She remained committed to using her skills and knowledge to help others, always remembering the lessons she had learned along the way. Maria, too, had changed. She became an advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusion, using her family's influence to support initiatives.
Please write in the comment below what you think about us, Jamila and Maria, in this real-life story. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please write where you are watching from. Thank you.